Before we dive in, I've got something for you. If you're studying for the ARE, you don't need to figure it out alone. Inside my free resource hub, you'll find study guides, resource guides, pop quizzes, and other tools designed to make exam prep a whole lot easier. Head to dci.beyoungdesign.com/resources or check the link in the show notes to grab it now. It's completely free. All right, enjoy the show. Hey, it's Bryn. So what you're about to listen to is actually a quick audio recap generated from one of our live Mind Over ARE coaching calls. These are meant to give you a little bite-sized takeaway and some motivation to help you pass your next architecture exam. All right, let's dive in.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into some fantastic insights, especially if you're on that journey towards becoming a licensed architect. We're looking at how to think strategically, not just, find the right answer on an exam.
That's right. It's about understanding the why behind the questions.
Exactly. And we're sourcing this from some really cool material, a segment called Coaching Highlights from Mind Over ARE. And these are like actual clips from live coaching calls. They're part of the ABC Club Premium. The calls are led by Head Coach Shikha. She's brilliant at sort of demystifying the ARE 5.0 exam.
Yeah, and what's so great about these highlights is they give you this unique window, not just into the architectural content, but into the test-taking mindset you need. Bryn, who founded the program, has really put together something valuable there.
Totally agree. So think of this as like your exclusive peek behind the curtain, a free taste of the quality stuff that ABC Club Premium members get regularly. Our mission today, to pull out the absolute key takeaways from one specific session. We'll focus on an ARE practice question, sure, but maybe more importantly, the strategy behind how it's asked. Okay, ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
So we're looking at this practice question, and it puts you right in a pretty realistic architectural spot.
Yeah.
Imagine designing a recreation center. Okay, simple enough, but it's in northern Minnesota.
Okay, so immediately thinking cold, like really cold. Severe climate.
Right, and the client needs exceptionally high thermal performance.
Yeah.
That's the key requirement. So the question boils down to finding the wall system that, and this is the crucial part, best integrates structure with continuous insulation.
Yeah, continuous insulation. That phrase is doing a lot of work there.
It really is. So the question gives you 4 choices. Let's run through them quickly. Option A is tilt-up concrete with an EFIS that's an exterior insulation finish system. B is a steel stud wall, standard stuff, with batt insulation. C, concrete block wall, but with interior insulation.
Yeah.
And D, a heavy timber frame using insulated metal panels.
Okay, so 4 distinct systems.
Yeah.
And that continuous insulation flag, it immediately makes you think about thermal bridging, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Because in a cold climate needing high performance, minimizing thermal bridges, those paths where heat just bypasses the insulation through the structure, is paramount. Standard insulation, like batts between studs, doesn't always cut it because the studs themselves conduct heat.
Spot on. And that's what Shikha points out in the coaching call this came from. It's really a detailing question. It's easy to get distracted thinking, oh, which material has good thermal mass? Like maybe concrete block.
Right. That's a common first thought.
But the question is more subtle. It's about the system integration structure and continuous insulation working together. Now, faced with this, a lot of students, understandably, gravitate towards option C, that concrete block wall with interior insulation.
Yeah, I can see why. There's that immediate connection people make. Concrete equals thermal mass, which sounds good for thermal performance. We actually heard in the coaching call clip, participants like Brooke and Jacob, they initially leaned that way, thinking, concrete blocks, maybe fill the cores.
Right. It seems intuitive. But this is where wording gets really, really specific, and where Shikha's coaching is invaluable. She makes this super clear distinction. When NCARB says interior insulation for a concrete block wall, they almost always mean a sheet of insulation, like batt insulation, placed against the inside face of the block wall.
Ah, okay. So not insulation filling the hollow cores of the CMU itself.
Precisely. That's the key misunderstanding. If they meant filling the cores, Shikha explains, NCARB would use different phrasing.
How would they say it then?
They'd likely say something explicit like cells filled with insulation or infill insulation, or maybe specify insulated concrete masonry units.
Got it. So interior insulation just means insulation on the interior side.
Yes. And that changes everything for thermal performance, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if the insulation is only on the inside, the entire concrete block wall, the structure itself, is still exposed to the cold exterior. Those blocks and mortar joints become massive thermal bridges.
Huge bridges,
Hmm.
defeating the purpose of continuous insulation.
Right. So that precision in language is a classic NCARB move. It tests if you're reading carefully and understand the specific terminology as they use it.
It's a huge aha moment, like you said, because you might think you know what interior insulation implies based on general knowledge, but NCRB has a very specific test context meaning. It shows you need to know the code, the principles, and the test's language.
Definitely a lesson in reading comprehension as much as architecture.
And this actually points to a bigger strategy NCRB uses, something Shikha really unpacks effectively.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Well, think about how the question started. Long preamble, right? Northern Minnesota, Recreation Center, high thermal performance.
Yes, that's the scene.
Right. Shikha points out that NCIRB often does this. They give you this descriptive setup, maybe even a paragraph break.
Okay.
And then the real question, the absolute core of what you need to answer, comes after that preamble, after the break.
Interesting. So the initial story is partly distraction.
Kind of, or at least context that isn't always essential for the specific answer. Shikha uses this funny analogy, like they're telling you a story about a cat.
Okay.
When the real question is about something else entirely. That whole Northern Minnesota Rec Center scenario. For this specific question, it almost didn't matter. The crux was simply which wall system best integrates structure with continuous insulation.
Right. That could apply to many building types in cold climates.
Exactly. And she notes this pattern is really common in the PPD and PA exams.
Yeah.
Project planning and design, project analysis, especially in case studies. You get this massive amount of background info, like pages sometimes.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
And then the question might be something super specific, like calculate the occupant load for this small office space. All that other info, irrelevant for that calculation.
So the skill is filtering, cutting through the noise to find the actual task.
Precisely. Shikha's advice is spot on. Work on piecing out the important part of the question. What is the crux of what they're asking you to do?
It's about mastering the test format, not just the content. Learning how they ask things.
Yes. And recognizing that pattern gives you an advantage. Shikha puts it great. Use that to your advantage. This is your home turf. You know this test. You know how they're going to phrase these things. You're an expert, so don't let it beat you. They haven't changed the formula.
That's empowering, actually. It frames it as a solvable puzzle, not just an onslaught of facts.
Right. It's about strategy. Okay, so bring it back to our Minnesota Rec Center. After all that strategic insight, which option is the best answer?
We kind of eliminated C.
We did. The correct answer, based on integrating structure and continuous insulation, is option A. Tilt-up concrete with an exterior insulation finish system, ESIS.
Okay, let's break down why A works so well. Tilt-up concrete gives you your structure, right? Solid, strong wall panels.
Erected pretty efficiently, too.
Then the EFIS is applied to the exterior of that concrete. This system, EFIS, involves attaching rigid insulation boards directly to the outside face of the structure. Then it gets a reinforced base coat and a finish coat. The beauty is that insulation layer is truly continuous. It wraps the outside of the structure.
Like the blanket.
Exactly. It covers the concrete panels, the joints between them, effectively eliminating thermal bridges through the main structural element. That's your integration of structure and continuous insulation.
Makes perfect sense. So why don't the others quite measure up, specifically for this question's requirements?
Okay, let's look. Option B, the steel stud wall with batt insulation. Classic construction, but those steel studs are like thermal highways.
Yeah, terrible thermal bridging.
Right. Heat flows right through them, bypassing the batt. So definitely not continuous in the way needed for high performance.
Okay. And option C, the concrete block with interior insulation.
We covered that one pretty well. Insulation on the inside leaves the entire block structure exposed to the cold. Massive thermal bridging, not continuous.
Got it. What about D, heavy timber frame with insulated metal panels? That sounds pretty good thermally.
It is good, definitely. Insulated metal panels, IMPs, perform well. They have insulation sandwiched between metal skins, and heavy timber is structural.
So why isn't it the best answer here?
It comes back to that phrase, best integrate structure with continuous insulation. While IMPs are great, they are panels. You have joints between panels that need careful detailing to maintain continuity. And integrating them perfectly with a heavy timber frame, ensuring no gaps or bridges at connections, can be complex. EFIS over tilt-up offers a more inherently monolithic, seamless insulation layer applied over the structure.
Ah, okay. So while D is a viable good system, A arguably achieves that specific goal of integrated continuous insulation more directly and completely for this context.
That seems to be the logic. Yeah, it hits the brief most directly.
So this whole exercise, this deep dive,
Yeah.
it really wasn't just about finding answer A.
No, not at all.
It was about peeling back the layers, understanding why A is right based on principles like thermal bridging, but also understanding the test strategy, recognizing the language, the preamble trick, the focus on specific keywords.
Yeah, learning how to think like NCARB, or at least anticipate how they structure questions.
Which is such a valuable skill.
Absolutely.
Wow, that was a really insightful look at continuous insulation, thermal bridging, but also that meta-level strategy for reading NCARB questions. Hopefully, listening to this, you've not only grasped the architectural points, but also picked up a really useful approach for tackling complex info, exam, or otherwise.
Definitely. That skill of finding the core question, filtering out the noise, that applies everywhere, doesn't it? It's about critical reading and thinking.
It really does. And remember, this whole discussion was sparked by a real coaching call clip led by Head Coach Shikha, all part of Mind Over ARE inside the ABC Club Premium.
It's a great resource.
It really is. In Premium, you get those live coaching calls, you get accountability partners, and you get full access to this whole searchable library of coaching highlights. Today was just one tiny example. So if you're getting serious about the ARE 5.0 and you want to be part of these kinds of discussions live, ask your own questions. Definitely check out Premium. You get the live calls, the replays, the whole library. You can learn more and join us. Just check the link in the show notes for this deep dive.
And maybe something to think about as you go through your week. Consider this. How often do you encounter situations where you need that question parsing skill? Think about complex emails from clients, dense reports, even news articles. How can you apply this strategy identifying the preamble versus the actual crux to understand information more quickly and accurately in your daily life beyond just studying?
That's a great thought to leave folks with. Keep diving deep, keep asking those questions, keep learning, and we'll be back soon with another deep dive right here.
Thanks for listening today. Hey, remember, you've got free resources waiting for you at dci.beyoungdesign.com/resources. And when you're ready for deeper support and to come hang out with us, join us inside the ABC Club and ABC Club Premium, where you are going to get the help you need to pass your exam and actually enjoy the process. So don't let another week go by without moving forward. Take action. You got this. Check the links in the show notes and join us inside the club.